Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
It's one of the most expensive and closely watched U.S. Senate races in the country. We'll hit the campaign trail with Senator Mitch McConnell and challenger Allison Lundergan Grimes on this day before the election.
On the eve of the midterm election, a handful of Senate races are in the spotlight. I'm Craig Boswell on Capitol Hill with a look at the contests that could shift power in Washington.
Looks like a gorgeous election day forecast, but could we do it all over again? And by all over again, I'm talking about the potential for a little more snow in your 7-day forecast.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. It's a much different start to the week than how it ended. After snow on Halloween and very cold air, temperatures are in the 60s this afternoon. You're looking at our sky cam overlooking Center Point in downtown Lexington, where it's a beautiful afternoon. So how long will this warmer air stick around? WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
Yeah, you've got a good-looking 24 to 36-hour window to get outside and enjoy this coming up over the next day and a half or so, and then we start to see those big changes blow back into town, Jennifer. Moral of the story, get out and soak it up. Temperatures right now into the low 60s across much of central and eastern Kentucky. Beautiful skies out there, just a hint of a little bit of high cloud cover, but overall that's pretty darn good, isn't it? Live First Alert Defender, nothing going on across central and eastern Kentucky. That's a sweep that should stay mainly dry through Election Day before we do see changes coming for the day after election, and that has nothing to do with the votes out there. We see some clouds across the northern part of the Ohio Valley. Let's draw your attention to what's going on. We're on the mild side of a storm system that is cranking across the Plain States. Cold northwesterly winds coming in, rain and snow developing across the Plain States. That front takes aim at the Bluegrass State. Here's what I'm working on. Weather headlines, a great Election Day forecast. Then we make our way toward the end of the week, into the weekend, starting to look a little more like winter again. Jennifer, I've got more cold and even snow chances in your 7-day forecast just minutes away.
Thank you, Chris. Tomorrow, voters across Kentucky head to the polls to cast their ballots for one of the nation's most hotly contested U.S. Senate races in years. Republican Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is battling Democrat Allison Lundergan Grimes. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is tracking their campaigns today. It's our top story at 4.
Senator Mitch McConnell's third stop today was here in Lexington at TAC Air as he spends the day crisscrossing the state in one final attempt to try to get out voters and to get people to go to the polls. Now, he is joined by Senator Rand Paul, and he was met with a standing room only crowd calling on people to do their job now. He says he has done all he can do. Meanwhile, Allison Lundergan Grimes was in Somerset earlier today, and like she has many times before, she called on supporters to end the decades-long reign of Mitch McConnell, telling a crowd at Lake Cumberland Regional Airport that Kentucky cannot afford another 6 years. Now, Grimes will be ending her day here in Lexington, in downtown Lexington. She'll actually spend the night with her family there tonight before she goes to her polling place tomorrow. Mitch McConnell will end his day today in Bowling Green. Much more at 5 o'clock, but for now, in Lexington, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
If McConnell wins tomorrow, the Senate Minority Leader could become the Majority Leader. Republicans are seeking the first Senate majority in nearly a decade, while Democrats hope to hang on to control. There are 36 Senate contests, and about a quarter of those races are tight. Craig Boswell's in the nation's capital with the story.
It's a nail-biter in Iowa.
Everywhere we go, the rooms are packed with people, and they are ready for a change.
Republican Joni Ernst is a state lawmaker and military leader facing Democrat and three-term Congressman Bruce Braley.
I'm running for the Senate because I'm going to stand up for Iowans.
Democrats and Republicans are pouring it on in 9 battleground states. Both sides have made North Carolina the most expensive Senate race.
I really oppose this onslaught of TV ads coming into North Carolina.
Democrat Kay Hagan is battling for a second term against Republican State House Speaker Tom Tillis.
We're running to actually go to Washington and get things done. People are tired of the inaction of Congress.
North Carolina may be an early clue Tuesday evening about how the rest of election night will shape up. Republicans need to pick up 6 seats to win control of the Senate.
We'll find out Tuesday night. We're hopeful and optimistic.
Republicans are working to oust Democrats in Arkansas and Colorado, where many polls show virtual ties.
The only poll that matters is the poll on Election Day.
Louisiana and Georgia are so close there may be runoffs. And in Kansas, an independent is trying to shake things up in his race against a three-term Republican senator. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
In the House, Republicans are expected to increase their majority. There are also 36 states with races for governor. The candidates for Lexington mayor are also spending this final day before the election trying to drum up support. Incumbent Mayor Jim Gray faces former Lexington Police Chief Anthony Beatty, who spent the morning on a local radio program before making some other campaign stops. Jim Gray made campaign calls this morning before heading to work at City Hall. There are several other mayor's races we are tracking in the central Kentucky area. In Richmond, incumbent Jim Barnes faces a stiff challenge from City Commissioner Laura Durham King. Georgetown Mayor Everett Varney is in a close race with former Mayor Tom Prather. There will be a new mayor in Nicholasville, where John Martin is taking on Pete Sutherland. And in Winchester, it's a repeat from 2010, where incumbent Ed Burtner faces challenger Ralph Harrison for the second straight election. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Amber Philpott joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hi, Amber.
Hello, Jennifer. A boys basketball coach in Garrett County has resigned after he was arrested for sex crimes out of state. Christopher Evans was served at his home with a warrant out of South Carolina last week. He's accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a teenager under the age of 15. He's now out on bail and is waiting to be taken back to South Carolina. We'll have more details coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. We are tracking the search for two suspects wanted in a home invasion in Madison County. An 88-year-old Korean War veteran says he was with his wife in their Crooksville Road home around 10 last night when two men forced their way inside their house and tried to rob them. He tells us a man knocked on his back door asking for directions to the closest gas station. He says one of the men had a gun and they both put on masks. We'll have more on the search coming up on WKYT News at 5. And Lexington police are investigating after a burglary at the city's new driver's license branch. Police say someone broke into the new location at the corner of Winchester and New Circle Roads. They say the burglar used high-tech equipment to break into a safe and steal cash. Police said the doors were locked and nothing inside was disturbed other than the safe. They're now reviewing surveillance video from neighboring businesses. And that's a look at just some of the news that's in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Amber. Students hope a college degree will lead to a good job, but that's not always the case. What a new study finds about the types of jobs graduates are getting. Next in WKYT Money Watch. And it's usually the Monday after Thanksgiving, but one retailer is offering Cyber Monday deals today. That's coming up on WKYT News at 4. On Wall Street today, stocks retreating from their highs. The Dow falling 24 points to close at 17,366. The Nasdaq picked up 8 and the S&P was down a fraction. One World Trade Center welcomes its first tenants today. Construction on the 1,700-foot office tower was finished earlier this year. The New York Times reports about 175 employees of magazine publisher Condé Nast will work there for the first time today. More than 3,000 other employees will move in later. The report says today's soft open will be followed by a formal ceremony later this year. One World Trade Center replaces the original World Trade Center towers destroyed in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Construction took just over 8 years at a cost of nearly $4 billion. Retailers are starting their holiday deals earlier than ever this year. Today, Walmart is rolling out its Cyber Monday sales, which usually fall on the Monday after Thanksgiving. Walmart shoppers can save on everything from electronics to toys. A new poll finds the majority of this year's college graduates have jobs, but about half are jobs that don't require a degree. As Omar Villafranco reports, that could be why many grads say college did not prepare them for the real world.
Adeline Maldonado got a full-time job after she graduated from college with a degree in media studies. Unfortunately, it's not the job she wanted.
I got stuck waitressing.
She waits tables at night and during the day applies for media jobs, but nothing has come through.
A lot of resumes, a lot of applying online and hearing nothing back. Very discouraging after a while.
A new survey from CareerBuilder.com looked at recent college graduates with a job. Like Maldonado, half are working in a field that does not require a degree.
4 in 10 students say that they don't feel like college prepared them for the real world.
CareerBuilder.com's Michael Irwin says colleges need to do more to help students prepare for a career.
Academia has to work with businesses to figure out what the curriculum should be, so when these students do come out, they're able to be placed in jobs that meet their skills.
The survey found graduates who majored in healthcare, science, or technology were more likely to find work. Students who applied for a job well before graduation were more successful, and internships also gave new grads a leg up.
I paid a lot of money for a degree and I want to put it to use.
Maldonado is hoping to find a job in her field to help her pay almost $40,000 in student loans. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Dallas.
The survey also found 56% of college grads expect to make less than $30,000 their first year out of school.
Hey, good afternoon from Nashville. Lee Bryce with us now for CMA Week. And Lee, so cool to have you, but so cool to hear. We were just talking, we told you, we've just come off Garth Brooks' weekend in Lexington. And you're like, did he sing?
Did he sing More Than a Memory?
Yeah.
You guys are like, yeah, I think he did. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, because you wrote that song, and you got at least.
That. Yeah, that was my baby before I Don't Dance came along.
Man, oh man, how cool is that?
It's beyond cool. I mean, I grew up the biggest fan of Garth Brooks, and so all that, when that all happened, it was
So
crazy.
what was it like the day that Garth said he was going to sing your song?
Pretty cool. I drank a lot of margaritas that day.
And now lots to celebrate for yourself, mister.
Yeah, we are just blessed right now, man. We've been out with Luke Bryan all year long, playing stadiums and arenas
And Rep Arena.
Yeah, that's right. And it's been amazing. And you know, I finished up a record and, you know, starting other records and starting producing some stuff and got the family at home and pretty much healthy and other than the last couple of days and just enjoying life.
What's CMA Week like for you?
Well, big day today. Had a big night last night. And then got BMI awards Tuesday, and then Wednesday's the, you know, kind of all dayer. Got to brush my hair and stuff.
You got your outfit picked out for the red carpet, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's got it picked out for me.
You leave that important stuff to the wife, I hope. All right, Lee Bryce here in Nashville for CMA Week. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, Dustin Lynch looks an awful lot like Lee Bryce, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
We'll get Dustin in the next half hour. How about that?
That's exactly right. All right, well, stay with us. Fayette Mall is gearing up for the grand reopening of its newly renovated middle wing. We'll tell you about the new stores that will soon be open for business coming up in Better Living. And Red Lobster returning to its roots, or rather shells. Find out what the restaurant chain is doing to revamp its menu. It's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Some exciting things happening at Fayette Mall. The new middle wing opens this week. The old Sears space has been remodeled. 12 new stores will open Friday, including H&M, Vera Bradley, and Oakley. The ribbon cutting ceremony will be at 10 Friday morning near the new Cheesecake Factory. That's also when Santa Claus and his reindeer will arrive at the mall. Red Lobster says it's going to put the focus back on the seafood. The struggling chain is revamping its menu, removing dishes such as spicy tortilla soup and wood-grilled pork chops, and adding more lobster dishes. Red Lobster's former owners pushed seafood alternatives, hoping to attract people who don't like fish. There are 2 Red Lobster locations in Lexington, one in Hamburg and one on Nicholasville Road. The hotel industry is pumping big bucks into new technology. Now Starwood Hotels and Resorts is going global with its SPG keyless app. The app lets guests check in and unlock doors with their smartphones and is available in select Aloft, Element, and W hotels. There are plans for it to be available in 150 hotels by early next year. Can't put your smartphone or tablet down even when you're on a cruise? Today, Carnival Cruise Lines announced faster, more stable internet connections for passengers out at sea. The long-range broadband system will be added to 101 ships in Carnival's fleet. Passengers previously had access to satellite-based internet, but it had spotty, slow connections. Carnival says the new service will offer 10 times faster bandwidth for streaming video and other activities. Premature and low birth weight babies may be more susceptible to osteoarthritis, leading to possible hip replacement as adults. Scientists in Australia studied 3,600 adults over the age of 40 with osteoarthritis who had knees or hips replaced. Researchers found those who were born premature or underweight needed hip replacement more often than their normal term and birth weight counterparts. The study found no significant association with knee replacement surgery. For more health, education, and consumer news, go to WKYT.com and click on Better Living.